Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Jeremycrazy30 promotional series. As we are here, we are at Title Clash. Title Clash is the event of this quarter of the year for Pro Wrestling Sim, and in December there will be another event going on. There'll be like one per quarter until can kind of make profit, increase the volume of events per week instead of per month and stuff like that. So it'll be a quarter of the year, well, there'll be a huge event going on, whether it be for the titles and allowing superstars to grow even more, depending on where they fit in line, with storylines, championships, and how much the heat is going on within that storyline too. So that being said, we also have the 280% shows that we did before we got to this point, and so we got $1 million that we can add back at the end of the month. Well, start of next month in October, and then also 4 points to us for our popularity in North America, and then 4 points additional to any of the continent groups. 4 points overall, because it's two. It was 1 point for 70%, 2 points for 80, and 3 points for 90. And so we got 4 because we did it twice for the other continents. So let's get on to Title Clash and having all of the championships be defended and everything else. So we have it all set in stone. We're gonna start the show right away. And within the first kind of pre-show match, so to speak, with these guys, showing what they are capable of before the championship matches start. So Kimani, Livingston, and Naku Cooper, they take it out, and could have been better with the commentary. As I'm looking at this, I did not, because this was a new added thing, I thought I added commentary. So all these are going to say it could have been better with some commentary. So my apologies, but it's a new event, so it doesn't have default people for commentary. So the star power of Kimani was added to it, and the intimidating presence. He was strong for breath. The vocal crowd were in love with it. It could have been better with some commentary. I would agree so too. And Kimani gained point 2. Naku lost point 1. And we have a 68% absolute value with the 100% crowd reaction. The 59% match quality for 1.5 star match. And then we have 61% final score. Then we have a Lucia Fowler having a video. I've added some angles with these videos to, there's some time that had to be used up. So with giving them some popularity boosts and overall with marketability with how these superstars are. I added them in video of their angles, and it allowed her to gain 0.2, and it was a 91% final score, and the good looks added to the story beat. Then we got the Elias duo versus Taylor Cardenas and Bobby Nichols for the JWP Development Tag Team Championship. And the intimidating presence of Browning Elias added to it. He was strong for breath. Intimidating presence of Taylor. Bobby Nichols had a boost with his start power. His gimmick. Taylor was struggling. The crowd were in love with it. Bobby Nichols did the heavy lifting and some commentary. And the Elias duo are your new JWP Development Tag Team Champions. They both gained 0.2. Cardenas and Nichols lost 0.1 each. And then we have an 80% absolute value calculation, a 63% match quality for a 2-star match, and then a 70% final score. Then we have Barbara Page, Amy Stone, Courtney Delaney, and Paige Martin in a tag team match where it was a dud. 52% final score with an absolute value of 64. Barbara Page had a boost of their gimmick, intimidating presence of her. Amy Stone had good looks and she was strong for breath. The intimidating presence of both Paige Martin and Courtney added to it. Paige Martin was strong for breath. The crowd were in love with the segment, and then I feel like psychology knowledge to the length. It was kind of falling apart, and the crowd was got bored. Time went by, and the match could have with some commentary. So 52% a dud, and then 64%. Barbara Page and Amy Stone are your new JWP Development Women's Tag Team Champions. They both gained 0.2, and Courtney and Paige lost 0.1. Then we got the Battle of the Lucas for the JWP Development Mid-Card Championship. The intimidating presence of Luca Barone added to the match. The vocal crowd were in love with the segments. Luca Gibson did the heavy lifting. And Luca Gibson is your new JWP Development Mid-Card Champion. Gibson gains 0.2. Barone loses 0.1. We had a 72% absolute value. A negative half-star match with a match quality of 42%. And a 55% final score. Then we have an angle with Janiyah Hickman that has a 99% final score. Then we got Isla Carter and Poppy Carter going at it in a match for the Women's Development Championship, which is equivalent to the Heavyweight Championship, or the Women's Heavyweight, whatever the case may be, for the highest title for the women. And the star power and good looks of Isla added to it. She was strong for breath. The vocal crowd were in love with the segment and could use some commentary, like all of them are gonna need in this. And then Isla Carter gained point 2. Pop Carter lost point 1 because Isla Carter is your new JWP Women's Development Champion. 67% absolute value with the dud and 55 final score. Then we have Taylor Ashley and Candice Mayer. Taylor Ashley added star power and intimidating presence. The star power of Candice. The vocal crowd were in love with the segment. And Taylor Ashley is your new JWP Development Champion. Taylor Ashley gained point 2. Candice Mayer didn't lose anything. We have a 85% absolute value calculation, an 88% match quality, with a 4-star match and 80% final score. Then we have Romeo Mooney having a angle video of his own to get an 88% final score. Then we have Money is Life versus Faces That Run the Place. Jaime and Kevin had a boost of their gimmick. Everybody was strong for breath. Vocal crowd were in love with it. Jaime and Kevin have pretty bad chemistry as a team, which hurt the team slightly. Henry Cardoso did the heavy lifting. Fans were angry at the BS finish for Henry and Naeem to be the new JWP Tag Team Champions. Jaime and Kevin lost point 1. Henry and Naeem gained point 2. Henry did the pinning of the win. They had an absolute value of a 66%, 52% match quality, half-star match, and a 42% final score. Then we have the Faces versus Heels, where Linnell was strong for breath. Noah did the heavy lifting. The vocal crowd were in love with the segment. And then Mackenzie and Jada are the new JWP Women's Tag Team Champions. They both gained point 2. Linnell and Noah lost point 1 and point 2 respectively. We had a absolute value of 70% with 100% crowd reaction. Match quality at a 68%, 2.5-star match, and a 67% final score. Then we have Megan Pyers and Lily Martin. Megan is the one who requested Lily. Her opponent, the star power of Megan Pyers, added to the match. She was strong for breath. The intimidating presence of Lily Martin added to it. Lily Martin was strong for breath. Vocal crowd were in love with the segment. Megan Pyers did the heavy lifting, and she is the new JWP Women's Every Event Championship. She gained point 3, and Lily Martin lost point 1. And Megan Pyers wins. Absolute value of 62%. Negative 2-star match with a 26% match quality and a 42% final score. Then we have Will Cannon having a 97% final score with his video gaining 0.2 in popularity. Then we have Mr. Nathaniel Williamson, saying the overall level of wrestling ability just wasn't there to steal the show. It felt like they were aiming for something great but never got quite there. Star power of Flynn Allen added to the match. The crowd were in love with it. It didn't feel like anyone had the psychology knowledge. He successfully retains his title. Now, he's already defended it 3 times already. He's at the main event level, and he can't go any higher. So he is at the top already with those type of championships, because everyone's at the lower card. As soon as you get a championship, you move up the rankings, and if you defend it, you also move up in the rankings, and he's already at the top. So Flynn Allen lost 0.1, 79% absolute value used in calculations, and then a dud match quality and 60% final score. Liam Bailey and Roderick Riley going at it with each other. The star power of Roderick Riley added to the match. Liam Bailey had a boost. His gimmick, star power, he was showing for breath. The crowd were in love with it. Roderick Riley did the heavy lifting. And Liam Bailey is the new mid-card champion. Roderick Riley lost 0.1. And Liam Bailey gained 0.2. It was an 82% absolute value used. Half-star match with a 50% match quality and a 64% final score. Then we have Takagi having a video of her own with a 100% final score with a 0.2 added to her popularity. Then we have Rini Takahashi versus Ellie Thompson. Rini strong for breath, same with Ellie. The intimidating presence of Ellie, vocal crowd in love with it. Rini did the heavy lifting. She is the new women's heavyweight champion. She gained 0.2. Ellie lost 0.1. Absolute value of 59%. Match quality of 24% with a negative 2-star match. And a 40% final score. And then the main event. Dallas Jones was strong for breath. Kofi had a boost to his gimmick. The crowd were in love with it. Didn't feel like they had the psychology knowledge, and the crowd started to grow bored as the match went on. Dallas Jones gained 0.2 as he is the new JWP heavyweight champion, and Kofi is losing 0.1. Absolute value of 62%, negative 5-star match with a 60% match quality and a 32% final score. And we'll see 76%. So we are going to get $1,250,000 and 5 overall points to us, and 5 spread out to all of the continents. We'll end the show. Sorry, title clash, 835 overall with the attendance, giving us 8,767. Mackenzie Herman, I successfully succeeded her promise, and Taylor Ashley with his promise as well. And we will simulate to the end of the month. As payroll and everything were to sink in. I'm going to go to promotions. and we're gonna enter this number into our calculator. Then add 1.25 million dollars. It will be so 535. And then since we're at 9, so we can add 5, so we're going to be at 13. And then we have 5 that we can add elsewhere. We're going to give this a 2, this a 2, that a 2, that a 2, and make that a 3. We have successfully saved that, and then we are going to go to our merchandise, and we have gotten Roderick Riley for $131. So I wonder if I have to go back, since everything kind of reset itself with the new update, that I will have to change everybody who's here into contracts where merchandise was sold. Then we'll look at our finances. So yeah, because we went from 311 going up to almost 4K, and then we go down to 400. So I may have to look at in marketing 500. So I may have to look at the contracts overall in general of which one is written and pay per appearance, because it looks like they stripped all of the written contracts and stuff, but it could be because of the back office with the merchandise stuff now. But overall in general, it's nice to have a new updates with now you can go bankrupt and you can buy other companies and stuff like that. And look, we are rising up to the top here. Then we have all these others that are growing, and hopefully soon we get that network deal that will get us even more popular overall in general, and getting those YouTube viewers and all that good stuff. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and peace out.